if you have a cushion, you could sit on your block, whatever is going to be most comfortable for your back. Legs can be, however, is comfortable. You can have them out, you can bend your knees, you can cross at the shins. And I'm just gonna sit up nice and tall. Hands could be on your thighs. You can have your palms down, palms up, whatever feels comfortable and feels best for you right now. You know, just take a minute to settle in any last adjustments to find your most comfortable seated position. And then we're just going to close our eyes and just take a few natural breaths. And then from here, take a really big inhale and pause and just hold it in. And then just let it out. You can either through the nose or the mouth, whatever feels best, just to kind of release any tension that might be in there. And we'll do that again. Take a big inhale and exhale. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, pause, and exhale. Now, we're going to do a little bit with our breath. We're going to try to breathe in and out like we're trying to make a continuous circle. So there's no pauses now. So as I breathe in, my inhale leads right into my exhale. And then my exhale leads right into my inhale, like you're trying to make a smooth circle. Now just turn your attention to your sits bones that are rooting you into the ground. I like to think of them when I'm sitting like this, like an anchor, like that's holding a buoy or a boat. And then just see how solid and connected you are to the surface that you're sitting on. And now notice how that might give your torso and your upper body a little bit more freedom to move with the inhales and exhales. So come back to your circle and notice how rooting into the ground allows your body to float almost like a boat as you breathe in and out. Good. Let's do one more circle. And then from here, you can open your eyes and we're gonna uncross our shins and then recross them with the other shin in front. So it might feel weird. You might now notice that you have a preference that you didn't know you had. Now we'll start warming up our neck. We're just gonna look over one shoulder and look over the other shoulder, back and forth. Start working out our neck crunchies. And now maybe if it's comfortable, you can start to dip your chin towards your chest and then up, looking up towards the opposite corner, drawing half moons. And we'll bring our head back to center, and we'll draw our sideways figure eights with our chin. And switch directions. And then we'll bring our head back to center. We're going to inhale, sweep the right arm up to the sky like you're trying to reach. And then bend your elbow, pat yourself on the back. Take your left hand to your right elbow. Give it a gentle little pressure to start stretching out the tricep. If you feel like your ribs are starting to move forward, just knit them back in. Keep them all in a line. Good. Inhale back to the ceiling. Exhale straight out to the side like you're trying to press the wall away. And then we're going to inhale, sweep our arm across. We're going to take the left arm, hook above the elbow, and you're going to use your left arm to pull, gently pull your shoulder across. And then I want you to take your shoulder and resist that. So that counter pull might give you a little deeper stretch. And then inhale, sweep the arm back out to the side, press the wall away. One more time. And then exhale, we're going to take our hand to the ground. You can either tent your fingers, make spidey fingers, or keep the palm like you're trying to press the palm. That feels good. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. You can take your left hand to your head to add a little extra weight. And then come back to the nice steady breaths. And then inhale back to center. You can do a little head nods, work that out a little bit. And then we'll move to the other side. Inhale, sweep the left arm up to the sky. You can let go your fingers if that feels good. And then exhale, drop your hand to pat yourself on the back. Right hand to your elbow. Good, keep the ribs knitted in like you're zipping up a hoodie. And breathe. Good, inhale, arm back to the sky. Good. Exhale, press the wall away. Good. Inhale, sweep your arm across. Right arm hooks above the elbow, more towards the shoulder, and gently pull it across and use your shoulder and kind of resist that and pull it back so you get that little counter pressure. Good. Inhale, extend it back out to the side, press the wall away. One last time. Good. Exhale, left hand down, either spidey fingers or palm. Right ear drops to the shoulder, right hand can assist. Good. 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 And then inhale, back to center. And you can do some head nods. Good. Now we're going to take our chin towards our chest. You can add your hands to the back of the head if you would like. Just a little gentle pressure. And release. And then we're going to uncross our shins and recross them one more time. And we're going to do some baby cats and cows. We're going to interlace our fingers, take them to the back of our head where our hairline meets our neck. Nice wide elbows. Again, keeping your hoodie zipped up, keeping the ribs in. You're going to press your head into your hands and hands into your head. Good. As you inhale, you're going to take that baby back bend, coming into that baby cow and looking up at the ceiling, nice wide elbows. As you exhale, round your back, chin comes deep to the chest, elbows come towards each other. Inhale, open back up, find your baby cow. Exhale, round, coming into your baby cat. Inhale, open. And exhale, curl. And inhale, open. Exhale, curl. And inhale, open. And then we'll release that and we'll make our way to tabletop position. We'll have our nice wide fingers. Think starfish stuck to a rock. Make your fingers nice and active. Wrists in line with shoulders, knees in line with hips. And we're going to do our full cats and cows now. So I'm going to give you an additional option for your feet. Most of the time we've been doing them flat-footed, but if it feels good, feel free to tuck your toes. If you want that little extra stretch for your feet, you're welcome to do so. Sometimes I do that because I feel like it feels good. So we'll start with our neutral spine. We're going to inhale, bring our chest forward, draw the shoulders towards the waist, keep the abs engaged. Exhale, pull the abs in, dip the chin, press away from the mat. Inhale, rock forward to cow. Good, nice wide collarbones. Exhale, find your Halloween cat shape. Really bring the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, forward to cow. Good, now we're gonna play with that connection to the floor. You can stay with this. Option 2 is if you wanna add that push and pull. So as I exhale and come into cat, I can try to push the mat away with my hands, pushing the mat forward. See how that changes the muscular engagement. As I inhale, coming into cow, try to pull my hands towards my knees and see how that changes your connection. Good. Exhale, cat. You can push the mat away if you want. Inhale, cow. You can pull the mat towards your knees. Good. One more round. Exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. Good. Now, as we exhale and round into cat, we're going to flatten our feet and shift our hips back toward our heels. We're going to stir our pot. We're going to shift our hips to the right, come up to the right shoulder, left shoulder. Bring your hip back to your left heel. Draw the big circle or stir the big pot with your hips. Good. And switch directions. Good. Good. And then we'll come back to center. And we're going to do our fire hydrants. We haven't done these in a few weeks. So I'm going to come this way so you can see the angle a little better. We're going to take our right knee straight out to the side. And when I do that, I want to avoid shifting all my weight to this left side. So think about keeping this left hand straight or left elbow straight and weight, equal weight between the 3 points on the ground. And then we're going to bring our knee towards our armpit and then down the center and then behind, keeping the knee bent. So we're drawing these big circles with our knee now. Good. Good, and then pay attention to the weight distribution, keeping that equal weight between the 3 points. Good. Good, and then just breathing here however feels comfortable. Just make sure you're not holding your breath. Now we're gonna switch directions. Take your knee in towards the armpit, out to the side and behind. Good, keeping the abs engaged. Good. Good, and now you can set your knee down, shift back to a child's pose. Arms can be extended or elbows bent. And just check in and see if you're starting to feel a difference between your hips. Maybe the right hip is a little lower to your heel than your left hip. Might feel like you have a flat tire. And while we're here, take a big inhale and exhale, walk your hands to the right. Rest your head wherever's comfortable. If you want a deeper stretch, shift your hips to the left. Inhale, walk your hands center. Exhale, walk them to the left. Same thing, rest your head wherever's comfortable. If you want a deeper stretch, shift your hips to the right. Inhale, walk your hands back to center. Exhale, post up in tabletop. And we'll come to the other side. So come back, active starfish hands, equal weight between the hands and the leg. And then we'll lift the left knee out to the side, bring it in towards the armpit, down the center, bring it behind, and out to the side. Draw the big circles. Good. Good, and just keep breathing. Good, and switch directions. Bring your knee in towards the armpit, out to the side and behind. Good, let's do one more circle. Good, and set your knee down, shift back into your child's pose. See if you feel, hopefully they feel a little more even. Good. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, rock back forward to your tabletop position. We're gonna make our way into downward dog. I want you to walk your hands about a handprint in front of your shoulders, wide fingers, spin the triceps towards your thighs. Now put a little extra weight in your index finger and your thumb. Pull your abs in, tuck your toes, take a big inhale, and then as you exhale, lift your hips. Imagine you have a string pulling your hips to the sky and a magnet sending your chest towards your thighs. Relaxing your head, trying to get your ears in line with your biceps. You can bicycle your legs forward and back. Start waking your legs up. Good. Good. And deeply bend both knees. Sit your sits bones, send your sits bones towards the sky, and then slowly straighten your legs. We're gonna inhale, lift our gaze towards our fingers. As we exhale, walk the feet up to the hands. You can keep your knees bent. If your legs are tight, you can grab your elbows for ragdoll and just hang, letting the spine lengthen. You can sway side to side if it's comfortable. Good. You can shake your head yes. You can shake your head no. If it feels comfortable, you can draw circles with your head. Imagine you're taking the top of your head and you're drawing a circle on the mat. Good. And if you're drawing circles, switch directions. Good. let your hands fall to the mat. We're going to interlace the fingers, take them to the back of the head where the hairline meets the neck. And it's not really pulling, we're just adding a little weight to help lengthen out the neck a little bit more. And let your hands fall to the mat. We're going to inhale, take this halfway lift. Let everything recirculate. Good. And then we're going to exhale. We're going to fold. We're going to do a little bit differently today. So we're going to take our hands and we're going to first walk them to the left side. I'll go this way so you can see a little bit differently. So we're going to walk our hands to the left, shift your hips to the right. See if that gives you a good stretch down that right hip side. And then we're going to slowly walk our hands at this diagonal to the left. And really reach and relax your head as much as you can. And then once we run out of space and our fingers can't do the walking anymore, we're going to start to lift them up and coming in to this giant sundial. So we're lifting up at this diagonal. Good. And then we're coming up, and then we're going to come down towards the right. And you can bend your knees as much as necessary. Now we're on the right side of the foot, shifting the hips to the left. We'll stay here for a couple breaths, and then we'll add in this extra movement. Good. Now start to walk your hands to that diagonal to the right. Keep shifting the hips to the left till your fingers can't do the walking anymore. And then really root through your feet. Bring your hands up at that diagonal. You might feel this good stretch here. And then come up. And then down to the left. And we'll do one more round of this. We'll pause here by the left foot. Shift the hips to the right, bend the knees as much as necessary. And then start walking your fingers that diagonal to the left till you can't walk anymore. And then raise them in the air like you're painting a big circle on the walls and the ceiling. And then down to the right, right by the right foot, shifting the hips to the left. Good. Good, and then we'll do one more. Let's walk the hands, walk the fingers till you can't walk anymore, and then bring them up. Good, paint your circle, and then down to the left. Good, and then once we're here, walk your hands back in front. We're gonna add a twist to our forward fold. We'll have our left hand down on the mat or a block. Left knee bent, right leg straight. And then if it's comfortable for your shoulder, you're going to inhale, sweep the right arm to the sky. And just make sure that your kneecaps are still pointed forward. Sometimes as we twist, this right hip gets misaligned and the knee kind of points out to the side. Just make sure the hips are pointed forward. Exhale, lower. Opposite side, right knee bent, right hand down. Left leg straight, inhale, left arm to the sky. Good. Kneecaps pointed towards the front of the mat. And inhale, lower. Good. Let's inhale, take this halfway lift. Good. And then exhale, fold. And then inhale, bring yourself up to standing. Good. All right, now we're gonna do our little workshop part. So first, we're just gonna come into Tadasana, and hopefully you can see my feet well enough. So Tadasana, mountain pose, is our basic standing pose, our foundation. And so today, we're gonna go with feet hip width apart, and a good cue is 2 fists in between the feet, 2 fists in between the knees. The heels are lined up behind the second toe. so that the pinky sides are parallel to each other. So we have a little softness in the back of the knees. We're gonna gently engage the abs so the hip points will move up towards the ribs. The tailbone will move towards the ground. Relaxing the shoulders. So this is our also anatomical neutral and our mountain pose. So feel how your feet are rooted. Some teachers talk about rooting through the four corners of the feet. I've started to think of them more as triangles. Think about the big toe ball side, the pinky toe ball side, and then the heel. And you're trying to root equally between them. So we're gonna play with this a little bit. And we're gonna start, lift all your toes off of the mat. And then we're gonna take the pinky ball mound side. So you're gonna put your pinky toe down and press weight into the pinky ball mound side. So feel how that activates the outer part of the legs. Another thing you can do sometime to work on it, take your strap and put it right above the knees, just a little smaller than the hip width. And then you'll take your legs apart, like you're trying to rip the strap apart. So from here, go ahead and relax the rest of the feet, but keep that engagement like you're trying to rip the mat apart side to side. So what you might feel is this engagement all down the outer parts of the legs. Good, and relax. You can shake that out if you need to. And we're gonna do that again. Go ahead and lift all your toes up. Good, and then put the pinky sides down. Feel how that engages, relax all the other toes down. Now try to rip the mat apart from side to side, from left to right. Good, good, and breathe. Breathe in and out. Good. And in and out. Good, and relax. Good, all right. Does everyone feel that? Give me a thumbs up if you're feeling that. Excellent, all right. Moving on to the inner parts. If you have a block, go ahead and pick it up, and we're gonna put it as high as you can in between the thighs. And now we're gonna come back to this, and now we're gonna focus on the big toe ball mound side. So once again, pick your toes up. Good, and see, sometimes my hands try to help and they do the same thing that my toes do. Now, put the big toe down, put extra weight down into that big toe ball mound side, relax all the other toes down, and squeeze the block. So feel how like it puts a little extra inward pressure down through the ball mound. You can feel the thighs coming up, maybe even into the core. Good, and breathe. Good, and relax. Good, we're gonna do that again. So far, everyone feeling that? Thumbs up. Excellent. We're gonna pick our toes up, put the big toe ball mound down, big toe down, squeeze the blocks, relax all the other toes down. Good. And breathe, breathe in and out. And in and out. Good, and relax. Now you can set the block aside. Now we're gonna put the two together. So how I like to do this, and this is where I find that my hands really like to help. So we're gonna pick all our toes up again, and we're gonna put the big toe and the pinky toes down. Try to keep the other ones out to start with. So good. Now relax the other toes down. Now you're gonna rip your mat apart side to side, left to right, and then imagine you still have that block between your thighs and squeeze the inner thighs together. Good, that whole engagement. Breathing in, keeping the abs engaged too, and out. And breathe in and out. One more, breathe in and out, and relax. You can shake that out if you need to. So this is like standing here, like we started in mountain pose, is kind of the one end of the relaxed, and then what we're doing here is playing with the other extreme of making it strength and sturdy. So somewhere in the middle, you can play with what feels good for you, but this is getting us this awareness that we can turn on these poses in so many different ways depending on what we need for the day. So we're going to do this one more time. Pick all your toes up. Good. Big toe, pinky toe down. Keep the other ones up to start. Now, let them down, but keep that engagement. Rip the mat apart side to side. Squeeze your block. Good. Now, shift your weight forward to the balls of the feet till you feel the fronts of the shins turn on. Now, trying to keep that. Shift the weight to the heels a little bit too. Feel the calves turn on too. Now, find that spot and breathe. In and out. And in and out. One more. In and out. And relax. Good job. Feeling that? Thumbs up. Yes. Excellent. All right. We're going to find that engagement again. I'm going to turn this way. We're going to come into chair pose, but we'll first start from our mountain pose. We're going to lift our toes up. Big toe down, pinky toe down. Put the other toes down. And we're going to rip the mat apart side to side. Squeeze your imaginary block. Pull the abs in and sit back in your chair. Try to keep all that engagement. Good. Good. And breathe. Good. Feel how it might make you feel more sturdy and more balanced. And then we're going to come into crescent lunge in a moment so you can feel that too. Good. And relax. Take a forward fold, hinge at the hips. Good. Take a big breath in and out. And in and out. And really bend your knees now to get a chest-thigh connection. Bring the fingers under the toes. And then slowly straighten the legs. And then straighten the back and the arms as well. And breathe. Good. Plant your hands on the mat. Let's inhale, take a halfway lift. Keep the abs engaged. And then exhale, fold. And then you can bend your knees and bring yourself up to standing. Good. All right. Now, we're going to step the right foot back, coming into a crescent lunge. So the back heel is going to stay lifted. And we're going to find these hip bones. We're going to pull them, rotate them up to the lower ribs. The tailbone's going to drop. Now, once you get here, so each foot has its own lane. Think about train tracks. Now, arms can be wherever are comfortable for your shoulders right now. So now, like, just pay attention to stability and balance and what it feels like right now. Good. Now we're going to add in that rooting that we were doing before. So your front foot, your left foot, you're going to pick up your toes, big toe down, pinky toe down, really like a suction cup to the ground. Same thing with the ball of your back foot. Now, instead of ripping the mat side to side, I want you to try to rip your mat apart front to back. So you're pushing forward with your left and pulling with your right foot, and see how that engagement might change the pose for you. For me, I feel a little bit more balanced and a little bit more stable. Good. And then from here, we're going to hinge at the hips and fold. Bring your hands to the mat. Good. Keep that engagement if you want. Right hand is going to stay down. We're going to inhale, sweep the left arm to the sky. Good. And now play with that engagement with your right hand Really press it into the mat and see how it might lift you a little bit higher. Exhale, sweep your left hand back to the mat. We're going to tent our fingers, make spidey fingers to give room to step the right foot back up to meet the left foot. And we're going to inhale, take a halfway lift, abs pulled in. Good. Exhale, fold. And bend your knees. Roll yourself up to standing. Good. Got one more side. So now take the left foot back, coming into the crescent lunge. Each foot has its own lane. It can be as wide as you need for stability. Find your little hip bone headlights. Roll them towards your lower ribs so that your tailbone goes to the floor. You might get a little extra stretch in the front of the hip. Now we're going to do that same thing. Root through your feet like tree roots into the ground. And then rip the mat apart front to back. So you're going to push your right foot forward, pull your left foot back. Hands can be wherever are comfortable. Good, and keep breathing. Good, inhale and exhale. Good, inhale, exhale. Good, we're gonna hinge at the hips, fold, hands to the mat. Left hand is gonna stay glued to the mat. Inhale, sweep the right arm to the sky. Really press your left hand into the mat. See if it lifts you a little higher. Good. And breathe. Good. And exhale. Step your hand back to the mat. And let's step our foot back, drop the knees, take a child's pose, either big toes touching, wide knees, or knees touching, whichever is most comfortable. Arms can be extended out. You can bend your elbows, coming in to make a diamond shape. And come back to the steady breaths. Good. And we're going to inhale, rock forward to tabletop. We're going to make our way down to our bellies. We're going to do a little work here with Sphinx, working on that same pushing pull and our connection to the floor. We're going to have nice wide fingers. Come back to your starfish, elbows in line with the shoulders. We're going to glue our toenails to the mat. We're going to keep the abs pulled in to protect the back. So as we inhale, we're going to lift our chest, almost like we're trying to send our chest forward. Keep lengthening the back of the neck. As you exhale, I want you to do that pulling motion where you're trying to pull your elbows towards your feet. Really glued to the mat with your hands and your forearms. Good. And breathe. Good. In and out. Good. And exhale. We're going to relax. You can windshield wiper your feet. Good. We're going to add on to that now. We're going to come back into our Sphinx, elbows under the shoulders, find your starfish, glue your toes into the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, pull the elbows towards the feet. Good. Good. From here, take a big inhale. And now as you exhale, you're going to push the mat forward with your hands. We're going to come into this baby cat where you're dipping the chin towards the chest. Keep the abs engaged. As you inhale, chest comes back forward. Drag your elbows towards your feet. Good. Abs stay engaged. As you exhale, push the mat away. Dip the chin towards the chest. Good. Do one more round of these. Inhale, chest forward, drag your elbows towards your feet. Good. Exhale, dip the chin, push the mat away. Good. And relax. And lower, windshield wiper your feet. Good. All right. Here we're gonna work our way into half bow. So you can prop yourself back up. We're gonna bend our right leg. Right hand is gonna grab our toes. You can also use your strap. If this is enough of a stretch, stay here with your thigh and your knee on the ground. If you want a little bit more, as you inhale, press your foot into your hand, lifting, keeping the abs engaged, keeping the knee in line with the hip. Good, and breathe. Good. Good, and relax. And then we'll come to the opposite side. We'll bend the left leg, grab with the left hand, keep the abs engaged to protect the lower back. And as you inhale, press your foot into your hand. Good, breathe in and out and in and out. Good, and in and out and lower. You can windshield wiper your feet. It feels good. We're going to bring our hands under our shoulders. We're going to tuck our toes, engage the abs. Inhale, lift in the tabletop. Good. And if it feels comfortable, you can exhale. As you exhale, you can do a cat stretch. You can come back to a child's pose. You can rock your hips side to side. Feels good. And then from here, we're going to shift our hips to the side. We're going to make our way onto our backs. We're going to do a little bit of bridge. If you have a block, you can make this more restorative. You can make it a supported bridge pose. And how you would do that, either on the lowest setting or the medium setting for the block. Put it not on the lower back, but right below the lower back. So you'd lift into your bridge, slide it under to find the place that feels good. Keep pulling the hip bones towards the ribs. Breathing in and out. Good. And then you can release, and we'll set the block aside. And we'll come down, and let's windshield wiper our legs. Take your feet as wide as your mat. As you take a big inhale, as you exhale, drop both knees down to the left. Good. Inhale, knees to center. And exhale, down to the right. Inhale, knees to center. Extend your left leg straight to the sky. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. We're going to drop both knees down to the left. You can toe heel your right foot out as far as you need to allow that to happen. But if there's any pressure on your knee at all, take your leg off of, or take your foot off of the thigh and just come back to the regular windshield wiper. Arms can be cactus down by your sides, whatever feels good. Inhale, post back up. And we'll go to the opposite side. We'll take the right leg straight to the sky. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and you can toe heel your left foot out as far as you need to comfortably drop your legs to the right. So you'll be on the inside part of your left foot. Again, if it feels uncomfortable for your knee, come back to regular windshield wipers. And come back to center. We're going to let the soles of our feet touch and let the knees open wide. A little stretch for the inner parts of the hips. Take your hands to your outer thighs to help your legs back to center. And then hug the knees into the chest. And you can rock side to side if it's comfortable. And we're going to take our legs straight up to the ceiling. You're trying to stamp the soles of your feet onto the ceiling. This is always a good one if to do against a wall. It feels really good, really relaxing. We're going to take our hands to the backs of our thighs and then slowly work our way up to our calves. You can always use your strap to loop around your feet. If you can reach your toes, you can go ahead and grab your toes, keeping your feet flexed. And now bend your knees so that you can grab the inner soles of your feet to come into happy baby. Knees going towards your armpits. You can rock side to side if it's comfortable. Good. And release. If you have a strap, grab your strap. And come into our final pose. Extend the left leg down the mat. Hug the right knee in. Loop the strap around the right foot. Both straps in the right hand. You can tee off the left arm if it's comfortable. Keep the left leg active, like you're trying to press the sole of your left foot into the wall. And come back to your nice steady breaths. Take your leg down to the right. Keep the left hip on the mat. Keep the left foot active. Take your leg over to the left hand, the straps off to the left hand. You can tee off the right arm that's comfortable. You can stay here. You can bend your bottom leg to grab your toes if you want the stretch for your quad. And release. Extend your legs back down the mat. And just take a moment to notice if you feel a difference between them. Maybe the right leg feels a little longer than the left. Hug the left knee in. Loop the strap around the left foot. Both straps in the left hand. Keep the right leg active. You're pressing the sole of your foot against the wall. Take your leg down to the left. Keep the right hip on the mat. Take your leg over to the right hand, the straps off to the right hand. Tee off the left arm if it's comfortable. You can stay here. You can bend the bottom leg to grab your toes. And release the strap. Send your legs back down the mat. Arms by your sides. Make any last adjustments to find your most comfortable position. You can let your feet flop open. And turning your attention back to your breath. If it feels comfortable, maybe you can extend your exhale a little longer than your inhale. Maybe if you breathe into a count of 3, maybe breathing out to a count of 5 or 6, only if it feels comfortable. And you can start to make little movements. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. You can give yourself a good stretch. And when you're ready, you can roll yourself to one side. You could use your head as a pillow. And slowly walk yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Yeah, I can sit up nice and tall. And take a big inhale and exhale. And namaste. Good job, everybody. Good job. Good, thank you.